In the last part, we discussed the association of the Applet program with HTML. In this part, we will discuss the Applet lifecycle. We shall see the elements of AWT package. We will also see the different shape rendering methods. In the end, we shall write a simple Hello World applet and display it in a web page. We have seen that the user's applet class must be derived from a base applet class which is available in the java.applet package. The base applet class provides different functions which may be overridden by the user's program. The init function is used for the initialization of variables and objects. Start function is called as soon as the applet is loaded. The most important paint function is used to render the output on the applet area. Stop is called whenever the browse leaves this web page, and this stop function calls destroy, which releases the variables and objects that have been initialized. In order to create a GUI on the applet, the program must include abstract window toolkit. The AWT package java.awt.star is a collection of different classes. For example, container classes to create frame, panel or dialog. In fact, an applet itself is a container. There are classes to construct different UI components like button, text field, list, etc. There are layout managers to place these user interface elements in the containers in a proper order. Then there are event handlers like action listener, item listener, mouse listener, and so on. These event handlers will be discussed in the next section, event handling. AWT package contains a very important class, graphics class. It also incorporates the classes for rendering fonts, displaying colors, and managing images. The graphics class object plays a very important role in displaying the applet output. The paint method of the applet takes a graphics class object as the argument. The prototype of the paint method is like this. This graphics object is also called as a graphics context. It contains the properties of the graphics environment of the graphical device that is presently in use. That means the monitor on which the browser is going to be displayed. There are different methods defined for rendering the output on the graphical display device. Different rendering methods as defined in the graphics class are as follows. The drawString method displays a string at the location specified by the x and y coordinates. DrawRect method draws a rectangle. X, y are the coordinates of the top left corner. W and H are the width and height. DrawLine method takes 4 parameters, x1, y1 as the coordinates of the starting point, x2, y2 coordinates of the end point. DrawOval also takes 4 parameters, x, y are the coordinates of the top left corner, r1, r2 are the x and y radius. Draw polygon method takes three parameters: x PTS and y PTS. These are the two arrays, and n is the number of sides or edges of the polygon. This is a rectangle drawn by the draw rect method. Draw line, draw oval, and draw polygon. Continuing with the rendering methods, the draw methods have corresponding fill counterparts. For example, filled rectangle will draw a filled rectangle, filled oval, and filled polygon. The shapes will be filled with a default color black. The draw string uses a default font dialog, and it uses a default size 12 points. This is how a filled rectangle will look like, a filled oval and a filled polygon. Let us now write a very simple applet which will display a string hello world applet. This program myapplet.java. This class must extend the base applet class, which is defined in java.applet.star package. In this program, the paint method of this applet class is going to be overridden. And for this awt.star package must also be included, because we are going to use a graphics class object. Inside this paint method, I am going to use a draw string method which will display this hello world applet string at the coordinates 100, 100. Save this text as myapplet.java and compile the program. Myapplet.class will be generated. Before putting this myapplet.class in an HTML code, the output of this applet can be tested using the applet viewer utility available in the Java development kit. This is how the applet would look like. All that remains is to associate the myapplet.class with the HTML code. Open the HTML code that we have written earlier and add these two lines. Applet code is equal to myapplet.class, width is equal to 400, height is equal to 400 is the area which is earmarked for the display of the applet output. Save this text myapplet.htm and open it in a browser. You should get the browser, and in which this hello world applet, this is the output of the applet program that we have written. This my first applet is the title, this hello world is from the body, and this hello world applet is from the applet.